Hi everyone, rotation for Lorcana's here, all of that, but unfortunately there was some news which impacted me personally on today's stream, which I did and do feel the need to talk about because I feel rubbish. I feel really terrible and I kind of just need to get this off my chest. I'm not casting Worlds for Lorcana. I wasn't invited to cast Worlds for Lorcana and I am very upset about it. I would love to have been there. I do, of course, want to wish everyone on the broadcast team all the very best of luck. I have messaged them all privately when I found out that they would be part of the team. And yeah, it's been a very tough period for me because, you know, I knew already and it sucked. And then it got leaked and I still wasn't allowed to talk about it. And that made it like 10 times worse. And then it's like the stream where I'm trying to just do my thing and make Lorcana content about all the reveals. And then it's like, bleh, just in the middle of the stream, bam, newsflash, I'm not there. It's really been a tough day at the office. A lot of people have obviously shared their opinion and, you know, a lot of people are happy that I'm not there and that's fine. They're entitled to their opinions. Quite a lot of mean comments calling me toxic and whatnot, which is, you know, something I'm used to doing what I do. You know, I'm not going to be able to please everybody, but I think, to be honest, I definitely let some of these comments get the better of me today because this is something that I cared about so much and something, you know, I really wanted this. And so then to sort of see people reveling in my disappointment is, you know, it comes with the job, but it's been a tough day. Let's put it that way. And again, just to reiterate, like I wish nothing but the best for everyone involved. They're all great people that care about the game. And I hope they do a great job. But for me, it just leaves me in a tough spot. You know, like, I mean, today's stream was just something I was dreading and it was worse than I thought it would be, to be honest. Like trying to keep composure, trying to share my honest opinions about how I feel without burning bridges. Maybe I didn't handle it as best I could. I don't know. Like, it's just a very tricky position to be in, right? Like, I want to say how I feel, but on the other hand, I really want to continue to cast Lorcana events, and I still want to be involved in the future. So yeah, I'm not casting Worlds. There's nothing I can really do about it. I personally believe that I should have been invited to cast Worlds. I think actually, I personally feel I should have been the first name on the team sheet based off what my contributions as a content creator and all of the events I've casted and my performance at events I've casted. I have worked incredibly hard to raise the bar for broadcasting standards in the game. You know, I cast the first ever Disney Lorcana challenge in Lille on, I think, 1 or 2 days notice. But you wouldn't have known it from the quality of the stream. Baker and I really stepped up to the plate. On the Sunday, I think we basically had no breaks. We just went full for it. Like, my voice was completely shot by the end of it. It was Baker's first ever time casting professionally, and he absolutely smashed it. You know, I had quite a lot of experience going in, so I was in charge of the stream deck, changing the scenes because the French stream was the main broadcast and we were like the side stream. And we made it work. We pulled it off, despite having never worked with each other before. We did the business and we put on a really good show and held down the fort and set the bar and set the standard really for what should be expected, I think, of broadcasts in this amazing game. And throughout the European Disney Lorcana Challenge year, I think the feedback from the community was very, very positive about the broadcast. Obviously, we had Ross come on, who I think did a brilliant job, and later Ed as well, and all these people that I worked with and really enjoyed working with, was what I was trying to say there. And at the same time, I really relished and wanted the opportunity to go over to America and try and work with people over in America. I made myself available for broadcasts over in America. I was never invited, but despite that, I still went over to Seattle to go and compete, which I definitely didn't have the performance that I wanted to have, but I still had a great time over there, and don't regret doing that. I think now in hindsight, maybe what I regret is trying to play like an off-meta fun deck in a very tricky format, and maybe what I should have just done is played Emerald Steel Discard with Diablo, because I guess maybe what I could have done better is had a better placement in Seattle, and maybe that could have helped me get the casting gig. But that just feels a little bit ridiculous to me, because if I actually look at what I've done, I have done, in my view, more than enough to have secured a position on that Worlds broadcast team. You know, I've done all the European events, but I've also hosted and casted grassroots events for Disney Lorcana and broadcast them often to over 1,000 viewers. Like, I've broken a lot of records for Lorcana. We had the online events, which I was part of the broadcast team for. We had the event in California, in France, multiple in Sweden, multiple in Germany. Whether it's been playing, casting, I have gone to events at every single opportunity for Lorcana. I have often brought recording equipment in my backpack on the plane, and I have done everything I can to try and elevate the game and the community. Unfortunately, despite that and despite all the content that I've made, and I actually think my performance in these casts has been of the highest level, I'm super proud of the broadcasting that I do for card games. I actually was just invited and just finished casting the Star Wars Unlimited Euros, and that is despite, you know, having 3 weeks experience in the game, and I think I did a pretty good job. There's a lot of things I'm unhappy with my in-game knowledge, which I think is to be expected when I've not been doing it for that long. But I hold myself to very, very high standards, and I think I'm my own harshest critic. But I know that my casting for Lorcana is of very high quality. And I know that because it's the kind of casting that I would want when I was a viewer. I have a strong philosophy on what I want to be as a caster, and I've been really happy with my performances. I'm definitely not perfect. You know, I think a big area of weakness for me is my lack of knowledge of Disney in general, and that's something I've been trying to slowly improve and work on by watching more films. It's never going to be my biggest strength, but it's something I'm aware of that I can improve on. Anyway, you know, I am gutted I'm not there. That's the bottom line. But it's more than just personal for me. Like, it's not just this kind of emotional feeling. That's obviously what's tough to deal with at the moment, but it's also my profession. I do this full time. I'm 28 years old. I started doing this full time when I was 24. I left my career as a primary school teacher, and professionally, this is the biggest setback that I've ever had by an absolute mile. I took a big risk switching to Disney Lorcana from Marvel Snap, where I had, you know, significantly more views and all that sort of thing. I just wasn't that happy, and I found a game that I really love, I'm really passionate for, and I had opportunities to broadcast. While this obviously isn't the end for me with Disney Lorcana, it just feels like a moment which I need to take a step back and reflect and think, what do I actually, not do I want to do, but what do I need to do for the sake of my career to continue growing and continue challenging myself? And another year of just doing nothing but Lorcana is not an option for me. It's likely it wasn't an option for me before this, but I think this decision to not invite me to the World's broadcast kind of just highlights that even further. I can't just rely on this game. If I wasn't getting opportunities in America already. Now I'm not doing Worlds, which is also in America. You know, if I was to have been invited to do every single Lorcana event or some Lorcana events in North America, do Worlds, do like the NA regionals, I think I could look back at this year and be happy with what I achieved. Whereas I'm not really that happy with what I've achieved. I haven't achieved my goals. My goals were quite clear. It was to cast every Lorcana event I possibly could. And I've not done that. Thing is, I don't think there was much more I could have done. I tried my best. I was unsuccessful. And I'll move on from that. It's out of my hands. But what is in my hands is the content that I make. And what is in my hands is how I decide to respond to this bad news for me. And so rather than just continuing to mope around and feel sorry for myself like I'm currently doing, and trust me, I have been moping around and feeling sorry for myself, as I think is my right to do so, since I found out this news. I think I said already, I was in bed for a couple of days without leaving when I found out. It was quite heartbreaking. I am just going to continue to try and explore other opportunities and challenge myself with different games. Like this weekend, casting Star Wars Unlimited Euros was so much fun. I was not in my comfort zone. I literally was casting a game where I am reading the leader ability for the first ever time while casting. Like, there's not really a position I want to be in for games I cast, because I take trying to understand the game at a high level very, very seriously for games I cast. And I think I did a pretty damn good job overall. I definitely had a couple of moments, which that one in particular I was unhappy with, but kind of is what it is. It was always going to be a challenge, and I'm definitely happy with how I did. But it was nice to leave a cast, like looking back and mid-cast, there was things that I looked back on. I was like, okay, I really messed up there. That was poor. I'm not sure that really necessarily happens with Lorcana cast. Like, I'm not perfect, don't get me wrong, but like, I think I do a damn good job. And yeah, it's just tough to miss out on. But I'm going to now be pushing myself in different directions, trying to explore more ambitious content. I'm working still on my Star Wars Unlimited challenge video, where I tried to go from noob to pro for Star Wars Unlimited in a short period of time. That was actually part of my prep for this event. I knew that I was going to be casting the Euros, and that was a good way to try and prep for it. And the other thing is, now I'm going to do a challenge video for Yu-Gi-Oh! Starting tomorrow. Hooray! So you're not going to be seeing me streaming Lorcana for the next few days, because I will be focusing on Yu-Gi-Oh! Out of nowhere. I am competing at a regional event on Saturday. It's going to go terribly, but that's part of the fun. So if you want to come watch me suffer trying to learn how to play Yu-Gi-Oh!, because I don't know how to play, we'll be streaming that Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then hopefully also streaming my competition on Saturday. You can expect to see more stuff like that, as well as a wider variety approach to content moving forwards, such as the Gundam trading card game that comes out in a month and a half, as well as the physical Gwent game, which I was always going to check out because I'm a massive Gwent fan, as you can probably tell by my posters. And there is also then the Riftbound League of Legends trading card game later this year. So while I'm going to continue to play Lorcana, I'm going to continue to really enjoy Lorcana and be incredibly passionate about competitive Lorcana. Like, I'm literally going to be casting the LCC semi-finals in about an hour and a half, 2 hours time from this video. Like, I'm still very passionate about Lorcana. Professionally, I am not just going to continue to hope that I get the opportunities that I feel like I deserve. I am going to hope I get the opportunities while also continuing to diversify and put my eggs in more baskets and try and get opportunities elsewhere. To all those people that were on Reddit calling me toxic, I am sorry you feel that way. You can't please everyone in life. It is what it is. To all those people that support me, I appreciate you greatly. And to those people that will be on the broadcast team, I wish you all the very best of luck. And I hope you have a great show and enjoy it. But yeah, this last year for me, it's been nothing but Lorcana. I've dedicated pretty much my life to this game for the last year, and unfortunately I was unsuccessful in my goals. It is what it is, man. I'm going to keep my chin up. I'm going to try and put these negative feelings into positive energy moving forwards, and I appreciate all your support. I look forward to bringing you more Lorcana content, but with significantly wider variety content added into the mixer as well. I'll probably watch Worlds, because I'm not going to lie, I like this game quite a lot. Is it going to sting watching Worlds from home? Absolutely. Am I going to do it anyway? Of course I'm going to do it anyway. I really wish I could be there, mate. I really think I had a lot to offer. But I'm not. So, we move on.